What's up, brothers and sisters? It's your brother G World underscore D. G World 7 underscore D. If you want to learn more about the Ice Ages, here's a good book, Ice Ages: Solving the Mystery. It's by John Embury and Catherine Palmer Embury. And I want to read just a few things on here, because this is a good book to give you want to learn more about the Ice Age. Okay, I'm going to start right here. I'm try to do my phone thing again and see, okay, the Forgotten Ice Age. 20,000 years ago, the Earth was held in thaw by relentlessly probing fingers of ice. Ice that drew its power from frigid strongholds in the north and flowed southward to bury forests, fields, and mountains. Landscapes that were violated by the slowly moving glaciers will carry the scars of this advance far into the future. Temperatures plummeted, and land surfaces in many parts of the world were depressed by the unrelenting weight of the thrusting ice. At the same time, so much water was drawn from the ocean to form these gargantuan glaciers that sea levels around the world fell by 350 feet. And large areas of the continental shelf became dryland. This period in Earth's history has come to be called the Ice Age. In North America, glacial ice spread out from centers near Hudson Bay to bury all of eastern Canada. New England, much of the Midwest under a sheet of ice that averaged more than a mile in thickness. Now, notice I didn't say all of North America, but a second ice sheet spread out from centers in the Canadian Rockies and other highlands in western North America to engulf parts of Alaska, all of western Canada, and portions of Washington, Idaho, and Montana. In Europe, the Ice Age reached outward from Scandinavia and Scotland to cover most of Great Britain, Denmark, and large parts of northern Germany, Poland, and the Soviet Union. A smaller ice cap centered on the Alps buried all of Switzerland and nearby portions of Austria, Italy, France, and Germany. In the southern hemisphere, small ice sheets developed over parts of Australia, New Zealand, and Argentina. In all, the ice covered about 11 million square miles of land that is today free of ice. All right? And I want to show you this. This is how the Earth is looking today. This is like a little drawing of how the Earth looked during the Ice Age. You see how a large part of, all of Canada, a large part of North America is covered, as well as Europe and Asia. Now, you see it right here. There it says, many parts of the continental shelf, including the corridor between Asia and North America, became land dry. Basically, just all this was covered ice. Here it is, like Earth today left. This is Earth today, and this is Earth during the Ice Age. Right, 20,000 years ago, great ice sheets covered parts of North America, Europe, and Asia. Surface water of the Arctic and parts of North Atlantic oceans were frozen, and sea levels was 300 feet lower than it is today. All right, so I'm showing you this, how the Earth more likely might have looked like, covered under ice. Now, I did one talking about how South America is older because they weren't fully covered under no ice sheets. Now, once these ice sheets started to melt, it raises the sea level. Just like you get in your bathtub, right? You fill your bathtub with water, but then you take blocks of ice, blocks of frozen ice, say from your freezer, and you just pour it in the water. It's going to rise up the water level. You see, the water level was going to go up. A lot of areas where people were able to walk across. Once those ice sheets melted, it affected the whole planet. So places that you see, like right off of Cuba, where you see an ancient ship docking station that was once there, is buried underwater because once the melting of the ice sheet started to occur, it raised the sea level and affected other portions of the planet. So it just wasn't just, it was so much ice that once that melted, it affected other places. That's why you see so much of this stuff that was once above water is now buried deeply underwater due to the fact of those thick ice sheets melting, and it's still melting today, and you can see it in Alaska. I want to emphasize and show this because it was a more need to sail with ships. Certain areas you cannot walk across no more. You needed ships to travel across. I repeat, you needed ships to travel across. So our ancestors, they used ships before 20,000 years, but it was even more emphasis of ships even later on. I'm emphasizing this, man. We use ships. We did not come over here initially on the bottom of the ship. We were sailing around the world using ships because we had to use ships because the sea was our damn highway. It was our highway to travel. And we needed to do that due to the fact of the rising of the sea level. Like I just said, certain places you may be able to walk across, but later on, with the melting of those ice sheets, those thick ice sheets, it started to basically cover up area that once, like I say, once you were able to walk across, you no longer could walk across. You needed to build some type of boat, a papyrus boat, fine, a reed boat, no, fine, but the art of developing ships, like wooden ships, was our ancestors did. It was a need. It was a basic need and a necessity for them to build ships, to sail and to travel to different locations. That's why I emphasize that our ancestors had built ships. They were very sophisticated. They were very smart. They were very intelligent. They were very innovative. So we have to understand we got to stop relegating ourselves to being slaves, man. And that slave narrative, I say this over and over again, I'm going to continue to say this over again, it's a tired-ass narrative, man. Yes, some of our ancestors were enslaved, but we had a great history before slavery, man. And this needs to be talked about. And this stuff is being suppressed because these bastards know that we ever were to learn our true history, man, we'll tell them to go to hell. We will know that what we can do without other people interference in our business. So I just want to give you this quick information in this book. You want to learn more about the Ice Ages. Solving the Mystery by John Embury and Catherine Palmer Embury. All right, this book I believe was written back in 1979, but this is still a good book. All right, peace and love. All right.